Hi. Okay, let's add Sherry. 1 second.
This is our first time doing a live, guys. It's time for the awkward moments.
1 second. We're adding Sherry. 1 moment. Okay, Sherry. There we go. Invite. I think that worked. Yay! Hi.
Hi.
How are
It's
you?
also my first time doing a live.
So I'm glad it's the two of us. So like, 1 second, how do you add?
I'm gonna go get earphones. 1 second.
No worries. No worries. Hi guys, for everyone that joined, this live is with Sherry. Sherry's family is the Chabad in Kiev.
Should I hold that?
Yes, please, actually. That's much easier. And Sherry's going to be sharing with us what's happening in Ukraine with her community, where they're now, how they're helping their community, etc., etc. So,
And also just like what's on the ground, what's happening. We hear so many different sources of information, man. It'll be cool to ask her what's happening. You guys can also write in the comments if you have any questions. Just put it in the comments, and maybe we can ask Sherry.
is it Sherry or Cherry? How do you say your name? Oh, bad connection.
Okay.
Oh, shame.
Is it frozen for all you guys, or is it?
Guys, is it working for you all? Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Oh, Sherry popped off. Let's re-add her. 1 second. There we go. Search, invite. 1 second. Did that work now?
Okay, I
yes.
think I lost. Yeah.
How are
Okay.
you? Sherry,
Was it me?
they think, how do you say your name? Somewhere they think it's Cherry. Is it Sherry? Cherry? Don't want to be saying it wrong.
Are you still connected to Ukrainian internet?
Oh yeah.
Let me go to a different spot. I don't know if I'm the one who has bad connection or you.
Sherry? I think.
It might be us.
You?
How's
I
it?
don't know.
Guys, whoever's watching, is the connection? Can you see both of us? What's going on?
Okay.
Yes,
Hold
it
on.
works. Okay, apparently it
All right,
works.
let's just keep going.
So, firstly, I just want to say that I could speak for myself, but I think Danny as well. We're both in absolute awe of you and your family. Still, like, I don't know how you guys did it while you were there in Ukraine, and also, like, escaping the whole deal. That we're sending so much strength and love, and I'm waiting for really good news. I don't know if it's working. Shucks.
Imagine all this being a flop.
Oh, no, it's working for us. I think Cherry's
Cherry's
connection is because look, this one's loading. That one.
She's not. Someone else. She's not.
Oh, let's try add Cherry again. 1 second. Maybe I'll tell her to add. 1 sec, guys. Sorry. Let's hope this works.
I think now it's gonna work. Okay, I was trying to Wi-Fi, no
clearer.
Wi-Fi. Okay, now it's gonna work.
Okay.
Okay, turn on the Wi-Fi.
Okay, so how did you guys? First of all,
let's start with firstly, we're just in so much awe, and you guys are incredible. Tell us. You start. Share with us.
Okay, so first of all, from the beginning, before the war, we had a life before the war. We moved. My in-laws live in Ukraine for 21 years. So my husband moved there when he was 9 years old from Israel. And almost 5 years ago, me and my husband joined them to work mainly with a community of young professionals, students. And we ended up also, I'm trying to find a place to put I don't have a fancy stand, so I'm trying to put my phone. Okay. So we joined, and we actually ended up also having a very big Israeli community. We didn't know that there were that many Israelis in Kiev, but apparently there is thousands and thousands of families. So we ended up also having a very big Israeli community. And I know people are surprised, there's actually a big Jewish community because also, first of all, we know that then communist Russia, a lot of people left Russia and fled out of Russia, and now people didn't stop showing that they were hiding the Jewish city, but the community has been really like flourishing, and people who have never been in a synagogue before are coming, and really we have a very big community.
Wow, how many Jews are there in Kiev?
Tens of thousands.
Wow.
I know, and Kiev is a really nice city. Before, I don't know if you can see on my Instagram highlight. I have Kiev. I started not long ago to show around Kiev because I know myself also. Before I went to Ukraine, I didn't want to go at the beginning, and I thought it was just this whole. The whole Ukraine is one big hole, and I'm like, oh my God. But Kiev is a very big modern city. I mean, it's still a third world country, but it's crazy. Even in the past 5 years that we have been there, has been like getting better and better and better, and like very nice buildings, very nice, really malls, like really very huge, nice city.
It must be crazy, like for your brain to comprehend that there's like a war there. Like it probably doesn't.
I'm having like waves of depressions and anxiety since we arrived. Thank God, first of all, now we're in my parents' house. We're in France. If you want, I can say the story a little bit of what, I mean, it happened, it all started.
Could you jump to the escape and then we'll go back to
Yes. To the escape first and then the war?
Yeah.
The wars? Okay, whatever you want.
Okay.
How did you guys
the war?
So
How did we escape? Crazy story, actually. We escaped Saturday night. Thursday morning it started. On Thursday, there was the first siren in Kiev.
Like a bit of background.
Okay, so first of all, already for past like 2-3 weeks, people have been saying, there's gonna be a war, you should leave. Like people were talking about the war, but we didn't believe that it's gonna happen. But we prepared for the war. We had like 10 tons of food we bought in the Chabad house, and mattresses and gas and everything in case it's gonna be a war. And we stayed there. And Thursday morning, almost 2 weeks ago already, almost 2 weeks ago, we woke up to a siren. So we were not prepared at all because we didn't think. And I live on the 10th floor, I have 3 little kids, and I was like, oh my God, I was like shaking and I couldn't breathe.
Have you ever heard the siren before in Ukraine?
Actually, no one. And no one was even prepared for it. And no one prepared, not in schools, not in nothing, because no one believed that the war is going to happen. No one told us, like, if there was a siren, that's what you should do. Like, no one. So all of a sudden, we just woke up. It was like nothing, and it was nothing, and all of a sudden, like Kiev is the capital city. We thought that even it's going to be a war, it's going to be the cities next to Russia, like it was in 2014. And all of a sudden, we woke up to a siren, and we're like, oh my God, what are we doing now? And we're like shaking, and I threw the kids in the closet and like watch a video over there and stay there. And I started to take the suitcase out and like starting to put random things in my suitcase. And I took one suitcase, I took passports, and actually took my father, before we left on Shluchas to Kiev, gave us $2 of the Lugach that he received from the Lugach Rebbe. So I didn't remember. Someone told me to take them with me. So I took them with me. And then we were at the door. The whole time I couldn't breathe because of the sound is very traumatizing of the siren. So then I was like, okay, we had a suitcase.
Was it bombing from the air? Was that the first?
So there was, we hear a sign, then you hear bombings, you hear airplanes, like you hear bombings, you hear explosions, you hear like everything. And then I had a suitcase, and then my husband was like, okay, now what? Where are we going? We're not going anywhere. Like I just made my suitcase because, okay, war started. We have to have a suitcase in case. So we decided to go to the Chabad house, like in case we lose power or we lose service, at least we're going to be together with his parents also went to the Chabad house and a bunch of people from the community. And basically from Thursday to Saturday night, we were over there and we had lots of sirens the whole entire time. People were with us. We had lots of bombings. We went in the...
Did a lot of people come over to the Chabad?
Yes. We actually had Shabbat with like all the people together. Everyone came because it was chaos. No one knew what to do. So in the Chabad house, like people felt safer. And I actually felt safer because when you're with a group, it feels like safer than being alone. So there was other kids and other families. So it felt like safer in a way. And then Friday night at 3 a.m. we had to go down to the bomb shelter because the explosions were in the same street as us. So the security guard woke us up to tell us to go to the bomb shelter. It was a crazy 3 days. It felt like it was forever. Like I didn't eat anything for those 3 days because I was like in such a stress. I'm like laughing now, but it wasn't funny. I was like talking to my husband. I'm like, tell me that I'm not gonna die. Like literally, I was so stressed. I thought I was gonna die because it was just like so many different noises. There was a siren. kept on going Friday, the whole entire day, siren after siren. And I didn't know what to do, where to go. And then we had airplanes, like you hear military airplanes. I'm like, is it Russian airplanes and Ukrainian airplanes? I don't know, on top of my head. Then you hear bombings, then you hear gunshots, then you hear like so many different noises. And like, I felt really, I was like turning, my husband is always super calm, and my father-in-law like even more calm. So I'm like, tell me I'm not gonna die. He's like, why are you saying this? You're not gonna die. Why are you crazy? Like, no one's gonna die. No, it's all good. So I was like at that level of stress that I felt like my life was in danger. And also because we have also because we have little kids also. That, I mean, if we didn't have kids, for sure we'd have been less stressed, and having like responsibility of 3 little kids, and I'm trying to explain to them without scaring them too much. And I have to tell them, because every time there's a siren we had to move them. So I had to explain to them, when there's a siren, you have to move, you have to go indoor, you can't be next to windows. Like, why can I be next to a window? Like, they didn't understand anything that was happening, really. Also because I didn't prepare them, because I didn't know there's going to be a war. So
could you leave the house to buy food? Could you leave the house at that moment to buy food?
No, that's it. So that one suitcase that we took on Thursday, and then we moved to the Chabad house, that's just after we left Ukraine with. We didn't go back to our house. We didn't go back out, nothing. That one suitcase, whatever I remembered to put inside in that time when I had the siren. Like it wasn't even the rush. It's because like the sound. I mean, I wish anyone. The whole time I was thinking, I understand why Israelis are so stressed all the time, and they're so like on edge, because it kind of sound. I'm like, it's like crazy. The sound. Like I'm like, I don't know how Israelis live. Like now we understand. I mean, I've been once in Israel with the siren, but for some reason, like in Israel, it's even safer, because also the siren in Ukraine is not always connected to the bombing. Like sometimes there's a siren without bombing, sometimes there's bombing without the siren. So that's why it's even scarier. Like I don't think all the time it's connected. So
we want everyone to get going.
So we decided someone, my brother-in-law told me before on Thursday, I have someone who knows someone who can get you out and help you. And I said, like everyone is trying to like
leave. Were you like, you were thinking?
So until then, we didn't think at all to leave. And then, but when someone said I know someone who knows someone, I said, maybe we didn't know yet. We didn't decide, but I said, let's have options to maybe leave. And then anyways, that person called me on Thursday, and then he said, tomorrow we're going to leave. And he said, tomorrow night. And he kept on pushing it. And then Friday, before Shabbos, he's not Jewish. I don't even know him. I never met him. And before Shabbos, I told him, I said,
Danny's just checking on us.
I said, on my Zooms, I had my kids with me. I said, no problem. So I called him before Shabbos, and I said, listen, it's going to be Shabbos for soon. Like, what's the plan? Are we leaving? We're not leaving? So he said, no, don't worry. After Shabbat, just for Shabbat, like keep indoors. Don't go outside at all. It's very dangerous outside right now. Don't go near windows. And right after Shabbat, come to that point to meet me, and then we're gonna leave. So we had also people with community. I'm like, no, I'm not going to you. I don't even know him. I'm like, you come to me. You come pick me up in the Chabad house. First of all, because I was scared to drive in the city. It was 45 minutes away. Also, I never met this person before, and we didn't pay him money, nothing. Like, what if he's taking me in the middle of nowhere? Like, he has to come. I don't know if it's going to change, but at least I'm going to see his face or something. Like, I can't just follow him. So he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to arrange it. We're going to come to you. So I said, okay, but we don't have enough gas, because there's no gas in the country. He's like, oh, no problem. I have gas. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you have everything that I asked him?
So like people driving out.
So it's crazy. So
all the pumps are finished.
So every person who gets out of the to the border is another miracle, because it's not really, you can't, if you don't have extra gas in your house, you can't even get to the border. So in the Chabad house, we had extra bottles. I don't know what's it called. So everything I tell him is like, yeah, don't worry, everything's good. Then, so Shabbat, the whole day, we're like, are we going to leave or we're not going to leave? And also I was starting getting stressed. Is it safer to leave? I mean, we live in the center of the city, so it takes time to leave the city. And they're already around, and they're bombing around the city. So I was trying the whole time, is it safer to be in a car outside, or should we just keep inside and stay inside? And I was like, we couldn't decide. We actually got a blessing from the Black Rebbe to leave. It was crazy. So many miracles on the way. And the leave, and then also in the letter, it said like to leave, and if it doesn't work, to try again and again. And this guy, it kept on like not working out. And then he comes Saturday night. He comes right after Shabbat. He comes and he says so we take extra gas with us, and he's like, oh, I also need gas. Can you give me one of your bottles? I'm like, oh my God, this is starting, like, why are we following him? He's saving us and we're giving him our gas. This is not a good idea. I'm like, okay, this is not, I don't think it's a good idea. And then I'm like, oh, you told me that you were armed. Do you have like guns with you? And he's like, oh no, I don't have any of this. It's dangerous. I'm like, oh my God, everything that he says, it's not true. Like, why are we? And I was like, no, we have a blessing to go. Let's go after him. Anyways, we don't have a choice at this point. And I forced my in-laws to come with me. They didn't want to at all. But I was like, it's for a few reasons. First of all, at this point, it was a physical danger. We had bombings really, really near us. Kiev was very dangerous. And second, it's ironic, but since we left, we're able to help even more people because at that point, we're all stuck in the bunker. Each person was just stuck. So since we left, we actually got so many more people out. So at this point, we decided, okay, we'll leave. We had 4 cars. And this guy
went through all this. Going through.
So we went through after him, and he starts driving. Now we didn't put a GPS or anything, so literally we're just going. He told us which country. Yeah, so he told us which country we were going to Romania, but we didn't know Romania has lots of. I know, but Romania has lots of borders, so we didn't know exactly which border we were going to. Like, just following him blindly, which is crazy. Now that I'm like saying the story, it's like
how
crazy.
How much do you have to pay him, if I may ask?
Nothing. We didn't pay. That's why it's even crazier. Yeah, I don't even know. No,
but
now I'm confused.
I read like people are paying like thousands of dollars to leave.
I know. No, now we're paying thousands of dollars for each bus to leave.
Wow.
We are. We're paying.
You're arranging buses to leave from Kiev?
Yes, we already arranged 8 buses since we left. Each bus of 50 people. Every day we have buses leaving Kiev to the border, and it costs us $1,000 per person just to be on the bus. Not even after the border, just per bus.
Wow.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how this guy, I don't know. The whole time we're like, oh, it's Eliyahu Hanavi. I don't know. It's like an angel that came to like figure us out. And the whole time also there's checkpoints, lots of checkpoints with armed Ukrainian soldiers, like heavily armed. And every time we passed, I was like crying because although like they have nothing to check, but you know, they have like a lot of them are civilians that have a gun since yesterday, you know, and they have these huge guns and they're walking around your car and taking your passport and opening your car and to make sure.
Is that a fear?
So either that you're Russian or also Ukrainian men are not allowed to leave the country. Ukrainian men between the age of 18 and 60 because if they are drafted to the army. So my husband is not Ukrainian, he's Israeli. But we had lots of also stories. I have stories after of people, even the Ukrainian, that managed to leave. But it was, so they checked. And this guy, after that, we learned that with him in the car, there was like a general of the Secret Service of Ukraine was with him in the car. And every single checkpoint, he gave a paper to the soldier. And he's like, all those cars behind you are with me. And we just like, they check our passport, but we passed very quickly, every single one of them. Like, who is who? So we
I don't know. That is incredible.
I know, it was the whole time we were saying that it's just miracles. Like there's nothing natural about this house. So we drove for 12 hours to the Romanian border for 12 hours straight. It was a night. Now another miracle was someone was in Ukraine knows that the roads are all broken. All the roads in Ukraine are broken, and like breaking your car on the road is regular. Like it happens a lot.
From Kiev to Chernihiv, and the car barely made it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pitch dark. We're going on roads that are not main roads. So it's pitch dark. There's no light at all. And the whole time we're like jumping because everything is broken. And the car and all of the cars made it. So that's another miracle. If you've been in Ukraine, you know that it's a miracle that your car doesn't break down, especially. And we drove the guy, and the guy in front of us was driving, I don't know, in miles and in kilometers, whatever. He was driving like super fast. And we kept on losing him. We kept on losing him. We kept on losing him, and he wasn't answering the phone. And like, oh my God, I don't know. We don't know. Like maybe he's abandoning us. Like how are we following him?
Everyone was speeding. The whole convoy was speeding.
So he was speeding. Yeah, he was like speeding like really ahead. And I told my husband we have to be the second car. I was so scared to be like the last car and losing him. And then because we were going, so we had people behind us losing us. I told my husband, it's better that they lose us because we answer the phone. We'll tell them, then we lose him. He doesn't answer the phone. So if we lose him, we don't know where to go. So better that we go fast the whole time. And if they lose us, they'll just call us and we'll tell them if we went straight. So we arrived, and then we arrived at the border. And then 20 kilometers, 12 and a half miles before the border, there's lines and lines and lines of cars that are stopped because there's so many cars. They're stopped. Literally, people are going out of the cars. They're walking, like 12 and a half miles of cars not moving.
A danger zone at that point?
So at that point, no, but we didn't breathe until we're like on the other side. We couldn't, because at that point, really after that, right after we passed the border that night, there was a siren at the city right by the border where we were before. So at that point, I mean, you feel like, yes, you're safe, but you don't know. It's crazy because you don't know if anything is safe. I was even scared after even the border. I'm like, what if they did come to Romania? Like, I was even scared after. Like, I wasn't even after, I still thought that it's possible they're going to come to countries like the next country that we're too close to the border. So then after we pass all those cars, so we see all those cars and he's like, okay, we're going to drive on the other side of the road. And for 12 and a half miles, for 10 miles, we drove on the other side of the road, skipping all the cars, all of them.
Against traffic.
Against traffic. Well, thank God no one's leaving. No one's coming in Ukraine. So no one's coming in, but no one is going. There was like a gate, between the two sides. And we just drove on the other side with this guy. He made us go through. I don't know what he did. And then after we got really close to the border, and then he's like, okay, from here, like figure it out pretty much. So we saw the border. Yeah, he left us there, but we were already like, we saw the border. It was so close to it. We saw it. And then we were stuck on the same exact spot for 10 hours. We like saw it with our eyes, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people. People are leaving their suitcase, their cars. People are like walking. People are with kids, and people are like this. Some people decide that it was quicker by foot. We actually thought about it, and I was like, no, it's too crazy with us little kids. And then what? We're going to be on the other side with the car, like with a suitcase and little. And it was freezing. It's freezing. It was. We arrived at what?
At this time, how cold was it in Ukraine? Was it like minus?
It was not minus, but we were like tired. It was like 0 maybe, and we were tired. We didn't sleep the night, and we arrived at 5 a.m. about 6 a.m. maybe. So the kids woke up already from there, and they were like, even to go out because the cars are so scared to miss one spot because they're like touching each other. You can't even pass through the cars because they're literally touching because they're scared if someone is moving 1 inch, like they have to move 1 inch with them. So we were stuck, and we kept on like going out of the car in because the kids are like going crazy already. They've been for like 12 hours and it's another 10 hours. So we're going in and out of the car. My daughter's like, oh my God, it stinks over here. I'm like, yeah, I know. People were camping there for like a week. People behind, all the people that we skipped have been there for days. It's a miracle that we got there. We actually met an Israeli family over there that were on the road since Wednesday morning, and we left Saturday night. So we took them with us when we passed the border, and I went at some point to the person in charge in the gate. They kept on closing the border. That's why it was not moving. So I said to him, I'm like, I'm here with little kids with the baby for 10 hours. He's like, don't say this out loud. People have been here for 3 days. You're going to get killed. I don't know how you got here in 10 hours. Say thank you. I'm like, I don't even know how you were here in 10 hours. It's not even possible. People have been here for days, so don't complain and just go back to your car, and I don't want to see you anymore. So we went back, and then I don't know, really, like I complained that it was 10 hours, but it was a miracle. I don't even know how. We didn't pay them either. I don't know if you've been in Ukraine, you can also usually pay your way around. We didn't pay anyone. We didn't pay the soldiers, nothing, and we passed after 10 hours. So we took the Israelis that we found with them. We actually, my husband put on tefillin to the Israelis that we found over the other borders. Like, anyways, we're waiting, and we might as well do something good here. And so we passed the border, and after we passed the border, I said, okay, we need to find a place to stop and to rest because.
It's not like you pass the border and you like have everything organized. You like pass the border and it's like.
No, we didn't plan anything, nothing. No, we left with no plan. We said we just have to pass the border, and once we pass, and actually everyone, all the people, our communities, we're in touch with everyone trying to relocate them. No one has any plan. The first plan for anyone is pass the border, and after it's like, okay, now what? Now what? And no one has anything. Like everyone has one suitcase, one backpack, like nothing.
What goes through your head thinking that, what if you never left? How would it be now? Like, is your neighborhood okay? Like, what happened there?
So, actually, there's a missile that fell behind my building 3 days ago, because I live behind the train station. Right. Actually, I was there the day before the war started. On Wednesday, I walked around the train station. I was to call my husband. I said, I want to check if people are really leaving or what's happening. It's behind my house. So I went and I'm like, I called him. I said, actually, a lot of people with suitcases. People are starting to leave. Maybe this is happening. And then 3 days ago, we heard that the missile fell over there, which is literally like behind my house. I don't think so far it has been a little quieter inside. I mean, the whole city is surrounded. So it's getting very, very difficult to leave. Since we left, we have buses that are leaving tomorrow. I don't know if we have I think tomorrow we have.
Right?
So there was no more food. So thank God in the Chabad house, we stock up with so much food that we started to distribute it to everyone. And actually students in our community are so amazing. I'm in awe of them. Some of them are stuck there because they're young men. And they're like, even some of them, they're there and they're sending me messages. Anyways, we're here in Kiev, we're bored. How come we have? I'm like, why are you bored? Like, why are you bored? And they're literally coming to the Chabad house, taking food and going around to all the elderly people. We have people calling us 24/7. Her grandmother's there, great grandmother's there, friend of the friend of the friend, and everyone needs. So we are food, medicine, and also most of the people now are elderly. That's why they're stuck there, because they can't do the journey. The journey is very difficult to do. Some men that can't leave. We actually have some crazy stories of families that they didn't want to leave their husband behind, which is a hard decision. Like if the woman should go by herself with the kids and leave her husband or stay as a family, it's a very hard decision to make. So some families chose to stay together, and then some families chose to separate. And we have some families that after like 2 weeks on the road and hiding in the mountains, husband passed through the border running for miles, like in the forest to avoid them. Like it's like stories like 100 years ago. And we have a few of them, like few people from our community literally left their suitcase and then were running in the forest and to pass to the other side. I know. Yeah. And actually we have one student in our community who today told us that he's going to go get drafted to the army because he wants to help the country. So we should pray for him that he comes home safely. But it's
know his Hebrew name. We could all
Levi Yitzchak. Levi Yitzchak is his Hebrew name. I have to ask my husband what's his mother's name. I'm gonna ask him what's his mother's name. I think he's going. He's a very brave guy. He's always and we have it's stories that I can't imagine that we're nowadays having those stories happening. We have people, and the sad part is that leaving. Hey, my kids, thank God, are all sleeping.
He's wide awake.
We have actually. I forgot what I wanted to say.
What were you saying about tomorrow? You were saying about they're closing the buses or something tomorrow, or like
I forgot what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is that what's very sad is that leaving the country is not the end. It's the beginning of a very, very long journey for people who left everything behind, and they have nothing. They have no money. They have no food. They have no clothes, and they have to start all over again. We have people calling us at midnight, and the family that call us, she's pregnant, she has a kid, and we know that they've been on the road for 2 weeks. And they called us, and I knew that they called us. They didn't want to say because they literally have no money to pay for the hotel for that night. And we booked for them a hotel and everything. Wow. And now they in Austria. So we talked to the Chabad over there, which, by the way, all the Chabad centers all around Europe are doing amazing, amazing work, taking in all the refugees. There's thousands and thousands of refugees that are coming to Berlin, to Vienna, to Romania, to Moldova, like literally so many, and they're all taking care of them and helping them. But I thank God have family, and my family is helping me. But people they left everything behind. I'm also like thinking when I'm going to go back to my house. My house, I left it. I looked at my husband, the house is going to stink when I come back. I left like the garbage. He's like, who cares? Like I left the things in the fridge.
You're like, the fridge is going to smell.
Do you believe
I'm like, the electricity. For sure. I mean, my husband thinks he's gonna go back for Purim to read the Megillah for everyone who's stuck there.
Oh,
Our car is in Budapest, though, so it's not with us. Because then after we we took a flight, we didn't continue driving. So our car is over there. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna fly over there. Going.
May like the peace at before.
I know, and that's when you were Shalim before, so it's even better.
Wow. What happened once you crossed the border? You were in Romania, and then what? Like.
And then, so first we had to, like, I said, we need to find a hotel. We need to find a place to stay. It's not possible, humanly possible to be up, and it's dangerous for us to drive. Like, we can't even drive anymore. So we're looking for a hotel, but all the hotels are overbooked because there's so many people. There's nowhere, you can't find any rooms anywhere. And we needed 10 rooms because we had people with us. So all the hotels were like minimum of an hour and a half. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not driving. I'm not driving anymore.
What do you mean people? People from your community?
From Ukraine? Oh yeah, us, yes. We were with cars from our community, so we needed 10 rooms. So we couldn't find even one room was hard, but 10 rooms was even harder. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we found the hotel 8 minutes away with 10 rooms available. I'm like, oh my God, we're going there right now. And a normal hotel, nice hotel. So we went there. We stayed there for the night. We didn't have any food with us either. So I'm like, we're gonna go get oatmeal. And then we're gonna get oatmeal. We had like crackers and chocolates, and my kids were happy that they had chocolates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So when we arrived there, I just looked for a store, and we bought like oatmeal and some cereal and almond milk. So that's what we had. And then the next day we drove to the closest airport and we went to France, and they continued with my in-laws, the rest of the community, to Hungary. And over there, some of them went to Israel, and some of them stayed in Europe. And we're now helping like with all the logistics of helping people relocate and try to help people also think of what they're doing in their life. They don't know. They're like, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, it's crazy, like to be forced to move. Some of them, they believe that it's very temporary and they want to go back, so they don't want to really settle. Most people are like, that's it. I think most people are that's it, which is the community that we built for so many years. I don't know why we're going to go back to. Most of our students, I mean, I would say half of our students made Aliyah already or on the process of making Aliyah. But there are some good things that came out of this. We have actually, I mean, we're trying to look at the good things that are
It's amazing that you look at the positive side and you're like,
I drive. I don't, not to fall into depression. But
how is the morale? How's the morale?
Sorry, I don't know. It must be so.
I mean, we try. Sometimes I have like today actually, it's crazy. But like buying new clothes for me was like triggering and very. It was like, oh my, I like reminded me that I have no home.
Like you left your stuff behind, like you have no place.
Yeah, everything. I had like nothing with me, like 2 dresses. That's all I took with me. So I had to like start slowly to buy everything.
I'm so sorry.
We actually have so many people being so nice. So many people are helping and sending and like asking what can we help with? Like really, like it's amazing. It's amazing to see the unity of the whole entire world. Praying for Ukraine, helping people, like really, it's crazy. Like people I never met before, people that I've never heard of, and everyone's asking how you doing, what you need, like anything. People are like literally offering crazy things to all the people that need it. And we actually someone in our community. He's been working for us for 3 years. We met him when we were outside in Sukkot with a mobile sukkah, and we met him and we took him. Was English. Right away he started working for us, and he never did it. He's like 30 years old. He never did the Brit Milah, bris. So we were trying to convince him for a very long time, and he said no, it's too scary. And now he miraculously passed the border. He's Ukrainian, with Israeli, so he also with very big miracles passed the border. So he called us very big miracles. So and he sent us a message after he's moving to Israel. He's like, I'm so thankful to God to every miracles that we're coming to Israel. Come with me, and we're going to celebrate my bris in Israel together. And so many people. What's crazy is that all the messages that we get from people crossing the border, everyone is saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you for the miracles." And it's so crazy. Like they'll be allowed to be upset at God. They're allowed to be like angry. Everyone is having more faith. Like everyone is praying more faith. And everyone's like, "I'm not religious. I don't pray, but now I'm praying." People like. Instead of being angry at this whole thing, or just having more and more faith, which is so amazing. And like I'm in awe of my community of people.
Do you feel the same with like with yourself even? Like when
Yeah, I know. With the whole time, first of all, the whole entire car, I was like praying. I was praying. I was saying like some Tehillims every time we passed, every checkpoint. I was like sinking to my kids. Hashem is with us. Hashem, the whole entire time, because I was like, there's nothing else that's gonna make me pass. Like I don't know what else. It's just too scary, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So the only thing that kept us was like singing. That would like believe in Hashem, and like everything's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Like the whole time. That's all we were like able to, was able to like push us to go through and to continue. And even now also for our kids, we have to be strong for our kids, for our community, and people are still calling us 24/7 and asking for help and advice on what to do and what not to do and where to go. So we can't fall into a depression.
I'm in awe of like your strength and I really am. It's so inspiring.
And I follow you for a long time. You see, we never met, and now because of all this, we're able to meet and chat. And
I wish that it wasn't because of this.
I know. Actually, I was saying, that's like so many amazing things are happening. I wish it wasn't the reason that's what like all this happened in the first place. But really, I'm in awe of the people you have in our community. It's so amazing. I don't know if you saw, I posted pictures. All the people of the food that we go like giving to people is people from our community that are under bombs or volunteering to help other people. And we have what's terrible is that we have people that are Holocaust survivors that are. And one of the students in my community, she said, you can't even imagine. We made them a chuppah not long ago with her husband. She said, me and my husband are gonna move. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna. Restart our lives. My grandfather is 95 years old. He just, experienced the Holocaust, and now he's sitting in the bomb shelter again. Like how is, and then lots of people that are there that are staying. Unfortunately, it's because it's elderly people that can't physically go out. It's too hard for them to go out. So I always said the only thing that really can help, is praying and storming the heaven. And if the whole world is praying together, it's not possible that God will not listen to us. And also supporting financially. I want to say, actually, I'm usually not the one who I am to like ask, but really we have I know there's lots of campaigns, and unfortunately there's lots of campaigns, but unfortunately there's so many Chabad houses helping people that are in need. But we have, I will maybe share in the comments, we have a campaign, and all the money, the campaign goes mainly to three things. One is buses to leave. We pay for the buses to leave the country. Another one is for, food and medicine. Right. Food and medicine for the people that are there. And the third is, so actually, till now was the food that we had. And now in the Chabad house, and now yesterday we had actually, I think some stores opened again, and we bought fresh fruit and fresh, I don't even know where they came from actually. And we have also our volunteers that go, and every time also when they go around the city, they get stopped by the checkpoints every time. So it's a journey to go to each person. Even if they live close, it takes a very long time because every time they need to get checked and the car needs to be open and everything. So we have...
what was the third thing you said?
The third thing is to help people relocate. After they move to the border, it's great. We get them out. It's really great. They're safe physically, but they have nothing. They have nothing. They left everything behind. They have maybe, in the best case, they have maybe a car and maybe one suitcase. That's all. And they have.
Why did everyone leave with like a hand luggage? I saw so many pictures.
Because it was chaos. It was chaos, and it was literally running for your life. That's exactly how I felt. Running for your life, and everyone was like, also, we didn't know how long the journey, where we're going to be, how. So we said, it's crazy if you have too much like heavy suitcases. What if you need to go on a bus and walk? And like people walked also. So, and walked in the cold, walked to the border. So we said, if you have heavy suitcases and lots of things, like how it's going to be hard to pass the border. It's going to be hard. And then after, like lots of people, most people don't have their own cars. They go on trains. I don't know if you saw the situation of trains. You can't even breathe. So where are you going to put your suitcase? You have to keep the minimum.
The trains aren't going now, are they? Or
so there are some trains going, not from every city. Some cities stop, some cities they are. But the situation, and thank God we had a car, because trains terrible. Like it's first come, first serve. It's without tickets. So, and it's mainly women and kids. So I can't even imagine the amount of kids on top of each other. So suitcase is not even like an option. So that's why people just took the bare minimum, like what is the really necessity, which is mainly passports, documents. People took that. I actually forgot some of our documents. I actually forgot my ktuba. I was saying to my father, he's like, oh, I'm not gonna even think about it actually. So I didn't forget. So it's so crazy because since the war started, we have so many questions, halachic law questions that we never had before about Shabbat. Like, we have to keep Shabbat, not, it's an emergency, what do we do? Now another question, I don't have my ktuba with us, what should we do? Like, so many more new questions that we never had in our lives before.
Did you redo it? Did you redo the
So actually this rabbi, I don't think the Rabbi Farkash in Israel, he said to all because everyone forgot, I think. I don't think anyone remembered to take. So he said because the situation of this, and he said because everyone is also like, everyone thinks that they're going to go back really soon. Like in our head, we go back and we know exactly what it is. So there's no problem. So I'm saying we had like so many new questions that we never had before. Also the Shabbat that we were in Kiev under the bombs. Before Shabbat, we asked like, what do we do if there's an emergency? Are we allowed to leave on Shabbat? Are we allowed to have the phone? Like so many things that I had my phone on the whole time. So I thought like people were in touch with. If there's an emergency, call me. If it's a message, I'm not going to answer. My phone is going to be on, but not only if it's calling. So we had like so many like new situations of and I didn't want.
Wow. Are people still living in the Chabad house, like for shelter?
Yeah. Yes, people are. And we have three soldiers, armed soldiers in the Chabad house that are guarding the Sefer Torah. Because also in Ukraine now, the problem is that we also have my family's there. We have civilians that are armed now. So it's dangerous also in the city around. It's quite dangerous around.
Every man got a gun now. So there's a lot of theft maybe, no? There's a lot of
looting. Yeah, I'm actually praying that my house, maybe because we're on the 10th floor, no one's going to go all the way there.
I saw pictures of them taping looters to the lampposts.
To the what? I didn't hear.
They took people that stole from houses. They were taping them to the lampposts.
I don't know. Since the war started, I stopped watching the news because, anyways, I have so much news already on Instagram and Facebook, and it's stressing me out. And I don't want to think that they went into my house. I don't even have that many. I don't have like so many important stuff in my house. My wigs. That's like what I have. But it's also like everything. It's not one big important thing. It's just everything. We just left our house as it is. We just like ran. It's literally running for our lives. So when you run for your life, you don't think of like, you say, okay, whatever, this is not important. I'm not going to take space in my suitcase for this. I don't know where I'm going or for how long. So I'm just going to take whatever I can for now.
I can't even imagine.
I want to go off topic for a second.
Okay.
Something interesting.
Sure.
So I'm so curious about this. How is Zelensky's connection with the Jewish community? We all know he's Jewish and everyone's posting a lot of pictures.
So he doesn't really have, before he was president, he was a comedian. When he was a comedian, he said openly all the time that he was Jewish. Since he was president, he didn't really talk about him being Jewish. Everyone knows because he said about before. So he doesn't hide it and now, especially now when he spoke in his speeches, he spoke about that his grandparents actually went through the Holocaust. He said, and so he doesn't really have a close connection, but everyone knows, and he knows, and he doesn't hide that he's a Jewish.
He's put on film before. I saw something.
Yes. I think it was before he was president.
Right. Okay.
As a president, he met with rabbis. He met with all the rabbis of Ukraine once. But all the presidents, some do, but he's Jewish, so that's why I make it harder. We also need to pray for him.
Yeah.
We do.
Another Jewish, I know.
If anybody who's on the live wants to ask questions, feel free to.
Yeah, I'm sure there were questions before, but I don't know if you know. I missed before. Some people asked some questions. Okay.
Let's go. One sec. Sorry if you asked a question.
And there was before I missed it. I don't even know how to see.
Would you go back to collect your stuff? How do you know the Chabad house is not bombed?
So the Chabad house, we have people over there. and we're in contact with, we don't have a camera, but we have people over there that are we're in contact with them, people that work for us and people that the army, and we're in contact, so they tell us updates. My house, I don't know. I don't think I mean, I will see in the news maybe if I see that my house has been bombed. I really hope that there will be but that's how we know. We hope that it's not going to get anything. It's terrible, but in Kharkov, in another city, there was a missile across the street from the Jewish school. So it exploded all the windows because of the impacts. All the windows of the school exploded, and the hallway also got ruined after so the missile didn't fall in it, but also if something is very near, it's also dangerous.
Someone, it's so scary. Someone wants to know where you're staying now. I don't even know if we got to that.
I'm staying in Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can send me gifts. That's I'm staying.
Guys, everyone can send gifts her way.
No, I'm joking. Oh, my husband is screaming behind. No, she's not.
What?
My husband's screaming behind. No, she's not joking. No,
she's not joking.
Gifts.
No, I'm in Nice with my parents, so really I'm so thankful that my family have been like telling me before the war already, there's a rumor, you should leave, come. Like, worst comes to worst, you're gonna have a vacation with your family, like, what's the problem? But we didn't want to leave our community, and only after we felt that, we're gonna be more helpful from the outside, and it's really too dangerous. And also we have 3 little kids, so I mean, maybe it would have been different if we were just adults and it's easier to move. It's crazy. The kids, we move them to the parking lot, then to the bomb shelter, then indoor, then to the staircase. And I mean, it's
and I'm saying so traumatic for an adult, like for a child.
Right. Yeah. We try to like make it everything and it sound like it's an adventure. Like everything, like, oh, it's an event. The siren is music. When there's music, you go in. Oh, adventure. We're gonna sleep in the car. It's like, it's so fun. I'm like, I tell my dad, it's so fun. You're gonna sleep. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna be in another country. So we tried like everything to like make them. And then they woke up and we're stuck at the border for 10 hours. So the plan didn't work. But we tried to like make everything sound less scary than it is, because I'm sure they felt also. They feel how we were. I try like not to show them, but on Friday when we were like bombing all the time, we had like too stressed. I told my husband, you have to take care of the kids because I can't like contain myself. I was like crying for 3 days in a row. So I said, I can't like have them see me like this because they're gonna be like so stressed out. Actually, in the car when we were at the border, I was like crying, but not even from fear. It was just like exhaustion and like already waiting for so many hours. And then my daughter, she's 5. She turned to me. She's like, "Yeah, I know. Adults also can cry sometimes." Because it was like,
we live on the road, but we don't live in war. So
I know.
Can't imagine.
I know.
We almost slept in the car, but nothing like this.
No, you can't.
You're making an adventure. Yeah, you are adventurous. Maybe you can come on the trip to here.
No, thank you.
I'm so sorry. It's crazy. We're so glad that
this has to end. It's crazy, and it's crazy that it's happening in the middle of Europe. Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe. I mean, I know people like who don't know. Lots of people don't know the geography, and I don't even know like where Ukraine is on the map. But Ukraine, I know, but Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe. It's huge. Kiev. I mean, I'm from France. I'm from the south of France. So I'm from a small city, and not from. But Paris for me is like such a huge city, and then I realized that Kiev is bigger than Paris. So it's a very big. There is 45 million people living in Ukraine. So it's crazy that it's such a big country in the middle of Europe.
Most people like stayed because I don't know if my number's correct, but I saw like on the news like 1-point-something million left. But if
yeah.
5 million,
Right. I mean, mostly I think the percentage of Jews leaving is higher than the percentage of non-Jews, just because I think Jews know that they always have Israel, they have a place, and we have the Chabad centers and the Jewish were so amazing with connecting
more
people.
Connected also maybe.
Right, because we have a web connecting us, so they know that wherever they're gonna go, they're all part of the people who haven't come to our community at all. We don't know them. Now, their families are connecting them with us. And then they know that wherever they are, the Jewish community is going to help them. So obviously, we actually have also non-Jewish people who go to us, and we also help them go out. But I think the Jewish people are just feel.
That's Chabad helped the Palestinian doctor.
Yeah, anyone who asks us, we help them. But I think mostly Jewish people asking because they know they can have help, and also Israel is always an option, and they know that Israel will always take them, and they can make aliyah. So I think that's why there's a higher. And also, it's a very hard decision to leave your house where you like to leave everything and go. I mean, I know people who voluntarily are staying because like we're not leaving our house. I mean, we've been here our whole life. We have a home, we have everything. This is our country, this is our city. We're not. So it's very hard decision to just leave everything and go.
What would you say like the percent of your community that's leaving? Is it like 50, 30, 20, 70 or like
percentage of our community leaving? I think maybe 60% already.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, the Israelis, mostly all of them. I would say 90% of the Israelis are out. They have been out. Actually, the Israelis are always ahead of everyone. The embassy, 2 weeks before the war, told all the Israelis ready to leave. So a lot of them actually left even before, their families at least. Most of them, really, the majority, 90% of them are out. And the locals, yeah, maybe mostly younger people, which is our community.
What's so hard to imagine? Like you're gonna come back.
I know.
Like, it's not like you're coming back to the same place. Or the
I
same
know.
people.
That's what I'm saying. Like even when we come back, like what are we coming back to? I don't know. And I think even if I hope the war is gonna end really quickly. It's gonna take a while to like put order in the country and like remove guns from everyone. And it's gonna take a while, even if the war stops like today, to like that there is. Everything is gonna take. It's gonna take a while for the country. So actually, today is the first. Now I told my kids, yeah, I went on vacation. Today is the first day that I told them that we're gonna be here for a while. Like this is gonna be our home for a while, and because thank God my parents have a preschool, so they go, and we have tons. They have tons of cousins that they know, so they go to school with all their cousins. So when I told them this morning, my daughter's saying I don't want to go to school today. So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna explain to you that that's it. Like that's our new school. Like that's now we're staying, and this is our new school. Like it's not like vacation. I go. I don't go. Like that.
I asked how they took it. Like how was it?
I asked. So actually, I'm trying so hard to talk about it. I mean, I have I asked in contact with a psychologist for them, but they don't want to talk about it at all. Every time I say, they don't want to talk about it. So I say like, how do you feel that now we're gonna be here and. So my daughter's like, okay, why are we here? Why are we not going back to Kiev? So I said, remember there were sirens. Like, why there were sirens? So it's hard to like try to not make them scared, and at the same time, I don't want to lie, and I don't want to be too dramatic. So it's hard to find say the right things.
I'm sending you. I mean, I don't know, but so much inner strength and
Thank you.
I'm so sorry you have to go through this.
Yes. So sorry, so many people. I know it's so crazy. I was thinking that thank God no one's going through it. It's hard to imagine exactly what it's going through unless you go through. But I don't want to wish anyone to go through this to feel what it feels like to go through something. So really, it really needs to end. It's too terrible. So many people are waiting to go home and waiting to have. It's scary because we can't really project ourselves. We don't know how long it's going to take, when. So that's what's also scary. For us, it's for sure we're going to go back. But when and to what and to how, we don't know any of it.
It's crazy. I'm sending so much current. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
I see. Yeah. Thank you.
I
see that Racheli sent the link.
Oh, amazing. Because someone asked how can we help from Northern Europe, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and
So financially you can help and you can pray. The Lubavitcher Rebbe said you should add 3 things: charity, prayers, and Torah learning. So charity, you can either give your everyday little coin or give to
put a link in the comments.
So Racheli's my sister-in-law just sent a link. Careful Kiev. I don't even know. Every time I search it again, I don't remember it. But she sent it. I don't even know. Can we pin it?
Can we pin it?
I don't know. I think you can. Maybe if you're the host, you can pin it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I see. We're pretty good for first live.
I know, hey?
So, yeah,
we're pinning messages.
So guys, Racheli is Raisel's
She married my cousin, your sister-in-law.
Right, and she's my sister-in-law. I'm married to her brother.
Such a
Yeah,
small
Rachel is, I think it's very hard for her. So she grew up here her whole life. Here, I say here, in Kiev. She grew up there and that's her whole life. So it's also terrible to see your city and your country being destroyed and being everything her parents, we came here 5 years ago, but her parents have been building their community for 21 years, and to see something like
That's crazy.
disappear, it's crazy. And I said, we're in the capital city, so we know for sure that we're going to have, even if we have half, we're going to have people. But some other Chabad houses that are in very small cities have 30 years of work. I don't know who and going to come back to those cities and when it's.
So it sounds like you really believe that you're going to go back.
Yeah, that's what keeps me going. I at least someone has to take my stuff. I know I didn't even leave the keys to anyone over there. I'm the only one here who has the keys. So unless we find a way to go in there to take stuff from my house for now, we will figure out what we have here and buy new stuff. But really, we have so much help from everyone. Really, the whole world it's amazing to see the unity of the world, and everyone is asking all the time what they can do, what they can give. People are taking in families. People are paying for tickets for families to go to Israel.
Wow.
So basically, Chabad is operating a massive operation of just remobilizing all the Jews or whoever wants to escape.
Right. So now we're in contact with all the Chabad houses that are in Europe, in Poland, in Slovakia. There's so many of them in Germany, in Austria. Like all the Chabad houses are opening their houses, opening their places. We actually have this. Till now, I live in Nice. Now I'm in Nice. There was actually some refugees, non-Jewish refugees that came here. And this morning, actually, a Jewish woman called my brother here, and she said that she's from Odessa with her 2 kids, and she fled the war to Vienna, but she said it's too crazy in Vienna. There's too many people, so I want to come to Nice, and can you help me? So we found someone here in the community who's willing to give her an apartment for free. And we have people now donating clothes for the kids and toys and everything. And they'll probably go to my parents' school. So there are now people, all the Ukrainians are everywhere. And some of them actually even went to, not a lot, but some of them went to US, mainly students that, have an opportunity to go to the US. But it's crazy and it's hard to see what's next. Like people are still figuring out.
It's crazy. It's so beautiful to see everyone opening their.
Really, it's amazing. It's very inspiring to see everyone else. It gives you also a push to do more because you see what everyone is willing to do and there. And when you don't even know them, people you never met, you never heard of, and everyone is so offering so much, and it gives you also gives us a push to do even more, to help more, because we have the support, so many people behind us and helping us and supporting us. So it gives us the push to try to help even more people.
I'm just in awe of you guys, and I'm so sorry to go through this. It's crazy.
Thank you. I'm so sorry everyone had to go through. So many people had to go, and it was crazy. I was saying to my husband, it's so crazy that we're 3 hours away, 3-hour flight away, and no people here. We're having such a beautiful life. No one is people are aware because the news, but it's so crazy.
It's not the same
when we were right. This Shabbat when we were here with my parents, we kept on saying, where were we last week at the same time? Where were we last week at the same time? Saying we were under bombs and in a bomb shelter, and now we're sitting, so thankful that now we're sitting and having a normal, beautiful meal at the table. When last week, our kids slept on mattresses in the bomb shelter.
It's crazy. Is the synagogue is the shul still? Are you guys still having any Shabbat meals or organizing any of that?
So now we have everyone who's there has meals constantly. We have a operating kitchen over there. We have someone who's a Jewish woman who is in charge of the kitchen, and she was not leaving. She's I'm not leaving my country. So she's moved to the Chabad house, and she's cooking all day long for all the people that are there, and they're all sitting together. They did Shabbat together the last Shabbat. So they're having everyone who's there. Amazing. And everyone, some people also, all the time I get people ask how they can help. I said, everyone who wants to come to the Chabad house, they can come, even if it's the same things, but it just feels safer when you're with other people. And also we have guards. So it feels, and the guards also, you know, because there was so stealing, we have food in the Chabad house. Like if there's word that we have food and we have mattresses, we have water, people come and, I mean, it's terrible, but in times of war, people come steal. And so that's why I feel safer to be with being guarded. And people also feel safer because it's a holy place. Like there's like holy books and holy place, so they feel safer. Yes.
I can't even imagine. I'm just in total awe of you guys. I don't even know what to say.
Thank you.
There's so much strength. Guys, if anybody who's watching wants to ask a question, feel free.
Yes, I don't know if we missed before questions because I didn't really look if someone, I had bad times bring out the best in people. That's true. We need to bring out the best in people before.
That is true. We don't need it. We shouldn't have to wait for
exactly
bad things to.
I mean, it's amazing, but we have to try to be our best before even getting to this terrible situation. Yes, exactly.
Rebuild good and amen. That's all that this world needs. We need, please God, we'll have Mashiach and this world will be in its perfect
Amen.
state.
Amen. Amen. I was like, the only thing that makes sense is that maybe God there's too many Jews now in the world, had a hard time to bring everyone to Israel. I said, first you start going. Let's go people by themselves, and then Mashiach is going to come. Already, like most of the people are going to be in Israel, so it's going to be easier to bring everyone. So maybe that's what it is, the beginning of Mashiach.
I like
Instead,
that.
the Mashiach will come naturally. We're not even realize that we're ready in the times of Mashiach, and we're bringing all the Jews to Israel. It's the beginning.
It's incredible. I like that train of thought because, like, there's nothing.
I'm trying.
I'm so impressed. I'm amazed by how, like, you're keeping your. I know it's really hard, but like. You're trying to keep, like, you know, a positive spirit. It's incredible.
What about the Chabad in Russia? How do they react? The truth, actually, someone asked me also today. I was in a Zoom this morning with Australia, and someone asked me, "Are you in contact in general with the Shluchim in Russia?" So the truth is that in Ukraine, there's over 250 Shluchim already.
Wow.
The country is so big that we are connected, all of us. We have WhatsApp groups of it. So the reason we don't talk to Russia is because our country already is so big that we don't really have, it's a very big country, so we don't really have a connection. So now in Russia, actually, I know some of the Chabad, they asked to pray also for Russia because it's terrible what's happening to Russia as well. I mean, the people in Russia didn't ask, and they're losing money. They don't have money. They're also going to have food. I mean, it's terrible. No one wants war. So, I mean, exactly, 100%. There's innocent people on both sides. I mean, I don't have anything against Russia, and I don't think any citizen wants this war, and it's doing only terrible to them. So for sure, prayers. It's true that we say prayers for Ukraine, but I'm sure with the situation in Russia is not great as well, and we can for sure pray for them. It's not going to do any bad to add more prayers for them as well.
Beautiful.
We don't know what's going to be there with them. I mean, we don't know anything.
The whole world is
someone,
unknown.
yes, exactly. So it's lots of prayers are needed for everyone.
It's crazy. You're so strong. I'm so inspired.
We're really. I'm inspired.
Like you guys are.
Thank you. I'm inspired by you. I watch your videos all the time.
Oh, thank you.
Where's next? Where's the next adventure?
The next adventure. Well, actually, yeah.
We're
going to Dubai.
We're going to Dubai next.
Oh wow! Maybe we'll join. When you're on vacation. When you're on vacation. Yeah, actually we actually are going now after praying. We might go to Israel to like have a meetup with all our community who is in Israel. We want to do in contact with them. So maybe after, but we try. It's just for our kids. We try to have them a little bit settled, a little bit in a place before we move them again because we move them so much in a week. But we are planning to have a reunion with all our community who's in Israel. So maybe we'll see. We'll try to.
The people who understand the people are the most and feel the most.
Right, exactly. Like understand each other.
That's crazy.
Maybe for Pesach, maybe for the first days of Pesach, maybe should we do something with the refugees?
I don't know. What's everyone doing for Pesach? Do you know like what the?
Oh my God, it's so far ahead. I'm telling you, people don't know what to do tomorrow. I mean, I hope that by Pesach, people will be like, I think in the next 2 weeks, people are going to figure out what they're doing with their lives and they're going to be more settled. For now, people like pass the border and they're still like, even us, like we're not even relaxed because also we're 24/7 talking with people. We didn't even come to like, okay, what's our plan yet? So I'm sure people soon, they're going to be more settled and they're going to try to figure out what they're doing. I'm sure in 2 weeks or whatever, we're going to have more of an idea of where everyone is staying, and everyone at.
Today and
Yeah,
tomorrow for now.
right. Now everyone is just like scattered all over the place.
It's crazy. Oh my gosh. That's mad. Well, it's our baby's nap time, and we kept you for so long.
Yes, okay, anyways. No.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're so in awe, and we're sending so much strength. And Meretz Hashem, please God, you guys should be able to get back to your community like sooner than you can imagine. Like,
amen. And then we'll
tomorrow.
invite you to come visit when it's going to be beautiful Kiev again.
We're there. We're there. We're down. And your husband should be able to fulfill his dream of going
amen.
back for it.
Amen. Purim is getting really close. It needs to happen fast.
So we're
amen. Thank you.
And
yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Anybody who just joined, you could look at the link. It's pinned, and that's how you could help from afar. Racheli and her husband.
I also have it in my bio. I have it in my bio on my Instagram. I have the link also if anyone after the live wants to see it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
So
bye.
See you. Now, how do we end it?
How do we save it?
Guys, thank you for joining. Well, now you can see the house is staying in because I just flipped the camera by mistake.
What?
One moment. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining.
How do we save it?